Hello everyone, welcome to the Red Pearls of Borneo. This game has a menu bar. Hold on, toggle full screen, there we go. That's very unusual. This is a detective game that came out earlier this year, I think, and people have been saying good things about it, and it very recently, I think just a couple of days ago, was put on Steam. It's free to play, so you can just get it on Steam for free. Yeah, I thought I'd check it out. Press any key to start. I guess I can click to start. Content warning, this game contains period-typical racist insults aimed at World War II Japanese and German soldiers that some may find offensive. Would you like to, I think because this is on YouTube, I'm going to click censor language. I very much appreciate that this is an option. So, okay. I'm recording this and putting it online, so I should be cautious about what I'm putting online. Select difficulty. Would you like to play the game as intended or experience a more hardcore investigation? Hardcore mode disables the global timeline tracker. I don't know what that means. Turns off discovery hints. These can be toggled on or off in the settings menu at any time. Global timeline tracker and turns off discovery hints. I guess I should play normal, even though like in other games that I've played, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had played this a different way. So it's the global, I don't know what this means. As in, is there something that tells me like when events happened on a timeline, and otherwise I'd have to do that myself? Maybe that's nice. Turns off discovery hints. I guess I'll find out what they mean, and then I can turn them off if I feel like it later. Okay, normal. What happened in Borneo to Miss something? Click to open. Miss Delphine. 12th April 1948. I trust this correspondence finds you in good health and that the spring air is proving a welcome relief after the winter's chill. I must apologize for the sudden nature of this letter, as we have never been formally introduced. However, I was given your name by a mutual acquaintance in Oxford who spoke with great conviction of your unique gifts. He assured me that where the conventional authorities reach their limit, your investigation begins. It is that hope, perhaps a desperate one, that compels me to write to you today. I always think it is interesting about kind of reading that like there are ambiguities, and it's kind of like in like programming parsing. Like when you're parsing a programming language, there's like some languages like require a lot of look ahead to find out like what's actually being said. And like C++ is a big example of that. There are like some things in C++ where the compiler has to look really far ahead to figure out what the line of code is even doing, and sometimes even has to look up like contextual things like, is this a type or is it a variable name, etc., in order to figure out what's going on. Whereas there are other languages that try and avoid that kind of problem to make the compiler faster. And that happens in English as well, in that like here, it is that hope. Like that could be a sentence that begins like that, but it could also be a sentence that is, it is that hope. Like I would maybe like italicize that if I was trying to. Anyway, this is not an important thing, but I thought it was interesting. They told me it was the war, that my father, my sister. They told me it was the war. That my father, my sister, Loon, that they were just casualties of the occupation, but I know better now. They were gone long before the Japanese landed. I was stuck here. I wonder if that would have said something different before. I was stuck here in London during the Blitz, unable to reach them. My father, Jeremiah, had been running the Goodwill tobacco plantation in North Borneo for decades. It was our paradise. Now they say it's a graveyard. Okay. So you had family in Borneo, I believe. And then you believe that something's happened to them before, like you were told it was the war that caused them to die or disappear or whatever, but you think it's something else. It was a paradise, now they say it's a graveyard. I've spent every penny of my inheritance chasing ghosts, letters to the colonial office, bribes to sailors, and this is all I have, a box of scraps, a map, some photos. You are a sensitive, I am told. That's what they call you people. Please, I need to know what happened to them. Access the memories attached to these items, find the truth, and close the few photos I managed to recover. Is this going to be like Obra Dinn, where there is a kind of magical element to it? Okay, so we've got a bunch of photos. The only thing I know for sure is what little the colonial office told me. Jeremiah Goodwill was alone in the study at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, 16th of December, 1941. Remind myself where we are with 1948. So yes, it's before the war. Well, no, it's during the war. We're currently after the war, and this is during the war, when he placed a telephone call to the local authorities regarding the arrival of an unannounced and unexpected guest. Okay. So somebody showed up at 4 p.m. on the 16th of December. There's going to be a timeline there, right? Please help me put them to rest. J. Goodwill Jr. Okay, so we're investigating Jeremiah Goodwill, the Goodwill tobacco plantation, and the rest of the family members, I guess. Your sister Loon. I wonder if we can make notes in this game, or if I'm going to need to take notes myself. Ooh, there's a map. Delphine, I have a map of the plantation. I am only aware of the study as a location so far. I've been provided with photos of everyone who is known to be present on the premises at the time, but I only have the name of my benefactor's father and sister. I will need to figure out the names of the other guests before I can start being able to connect with them. Right, let's go to the study and see what we can find. So do you know where that is? You do know where that is. Okay. Somehow. What's this thing do? Guess. Okay, so these are the characters. So maybe this is the entire game. I guess you already know that those two are them. So I don't have to assign that. And then, like, how does this work? Identify. Find names in... So I guess I need names and I put them there. Okay. Ooh, it's selectable. I've got an inventory with that letter in it. Yep. How do I close that? Do I have to go to the bottom again? Yes. Notes, items, transcripts. I wonder how I get items. I'm not even there. Okay. And then glossary. Ooh, interesting. Colonies. Borneo in 1941 was a period of industrialization for the island's resources, dominated by a handful of European powers and corporations taking advantage of the local population. The economy shifted away from traditional trade towards large-scale industries like rubber and tobacco plantations, and a small but lucrative pearl oyster industry. By 1941, Borneo was effectively split between two European powers. The British in the north were divided into three territories. Sarawak, ruled by Charles Brooke of the Brooke family, the White Rogers, whatever. British North Borneo, ruled by the British North Borneo Chartered Company, of which the Goodwill Plantation was a part of. Okay, British North Borneo. That you would say Raja, right? So Rogers, yeah, okay, I think that's fine. Of which the Goodwill Plantation was part of, and Brunei, a British protectorate. The Dutch occupied the south as part of the Dutch East Indies and administered from Jakarta. Historically, Germans had been early pioneers in Borneo's tobacco industry before World War I, but their influence declined after that war. Germans have been early pioneers in the tobacco, okay. There was a massive boom in plantation agriculture which redefined the landscape of the island. After World War I, the demand for rubber because of the auto industry skyrocketed. European companies cleared vast tracts of jungle to plant rubber trees. By the 1930s, rubber was the most significant export for both British and Dutch Borneo. Before that, North Borneo was world famous for its high-quality cigar wrapper leaf. However, by the 1930s, many tobacco companies began to switch to rubber because the American cigarettes were taking over and the demand for cigar leaves dwindled. Okay. Sometimes I have to double read things just to take it all in. Yep, by the 1930s. Got it. Yep. When people spoke of oyster farms in Borneo during this era, they meant pearl oysters to farm for pearls and mother-of-pearl shells rather than edible oysters. The Sulu Sea and Celebes? We could look these things up, I guess. How do we pronounce you? Pronunciation. Celebes. Oh, that's the American English pronunciation, or Celebes? Celebes in British English, apparently. Or Celebes. I guess I'll do the British one, Celebes. C. Does sound weird. Sulu Sea and the Celebes Sea were the primary grounds. Natural pearls were harvested by indigenous divers. In the 1920s, the industry faced a crisis due to the invention of cultured pearls in Japan. As Japanese cultured pearls flooded the market at a lower cost, the value of Borneo's natural pearls plummeted. Whoever made this game clearly likes their history of Borneo, I guess. The British and Dutch governments issued concessions. Did I read this already? I can't remember. British and Dutch governments issued concessions to European companies to dredge the seabed so they could do it at scale and fight off the Japanese pearls. They were primarily interested in mother of pearl, which was used for buttons and jewelry in Europe and America. It is important to note that while Europeans owned... Sorry, I'm getting distracted slightly. While Europeans owned the land and capital, they did not provide the labor. The times before WW2, World War II saw a massive influx of Chinese laborers brought in for tobacco and rubber and eventually became dominant merchants in coastal towns like Sandakan, and the Japanese were highly influential in the 1930s in timber and fishing, often acting as spies to the Japanese military, gathering intelligence before their invasion in 1941. Okay, so the Japanese did invade in 1941. Well, according to this, that wasn't me saying, I've just looked that up. But it's probably true. Okay. Alright. That's that. So we have a glossary. That's everything in here right now. I guess there'll be more items up here. At some point. Close cabinet. Right, we have the study. Let's go there. Oh, we didn't click on the eye. Heavy teak furniture and the smell of stale smoke fills the air. A rotary telephone is on the desk. Oh, you were just saying something. Oh, I can still see that though in the thing. I didn't realize that clicking on that would move this. There's a specific feel to old rooms. Objects that form the essence of the space become part of the room. Items that remain in that space long enough become anchored to the space itself. Delphine can focus on these items like the telephone here, provided the owner has been identified and their aura is locked onto the object. Okay. Provided the owner has been identified and their aura is locked. So we have to know who the owner of the object is in order to focus on the item. You can go to the phone on the item screen in the inventory. Okay, so we don't actually have the item, we're just focusing on it or something, and to tune it by attributing the correct owner to it. Okay. So can I click that and I get a word or I get an item, I guess? Okay. What? The memory is faint. Summon the echo to reconstruct the event. Summon the echo. I know that Jeremiah was alone at 4 p.m. in the study. If I focus hard enough on Jeremiah, I should be able to see the echo of what happened there. But it's currently highlighting 3 p.m. So, okay. So that's how I went to 4 p.m. and place Jeremiah's photo into focus. Okay, hold on. Can I map? Do I want to know what you do? What do you do? The mind's eye. Maybe we find that out later. Or can I change the time of day of the map or something? No, I don't know. Hold on. So you put an item here, rotary telephone. You did. Identify owner. Linked via a single physical copper wire strung through the jungle. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay, so you're telling me, do I need to do this before I can do that? Or, what's the order here? Do I not know that it's... Yeah, I guess I don't know whose it is until I've done this thing. But I do know that... Well, I guess I should move you to 4. So each one of these is an hour. Where do I put you? Or do I just click you? I just click you? Okay, then focus. Okay. So I click on the location, then the person, and the time, and then I focus, and then I get to see the memory of what happened there. Okay. Interesting. Jeremiah Goodwill is... Do I need to click that? No. It's hunched over a rotary telephone, speaking into the receiver. Jeremiah Goodwill. District Officer, this is Jeremiah Goodwill at the Goodwill Plantation. Lowercase t. I want to log an unexpected visitor, a Mr. Lucas Sterling, who moored his raft at the boathouse. He claims to be the solitary survivor of a pirate outrage on the coast. Would you be so good as to notify the constabulary? Oh. The Marine wing of the North Borneo Armed Constabulary is the closest thing to a coast guard in the British parts of North Borneo. They operate small armed motor launchers that I guess you just mean boats, that patrolled the coast before the Japanese invasion. Okay. Is this a... Oh, glossary unlocked, I see, so I could go read about that. All right. Just figuring out the game. Furthermore, I should like to inquire if there have been any reports regarding Royal Navy vessels currently unaccounted for in these waters. The chap's story is fishy, very fishy indeed. Okay. Let's be a solitary survivor. Okay. And you're just asking them to notify. Okay. The survivor strikes me as a young pup, altogether too cheeky for my liking. My head of security Canan is keeping a close eye on him. I don't care for his manner one bit. Two strangers, I have their photos and now their names. I need to remember that indigenous people to Borneo often do not have a surname, so I should be able to identify Canan with just his first name. Okay, I see what you mean. I guess I don't know what Canan looks like. It's a man. Head of security Canan. Until we can figure out who they are based on the context, you can assign a name to their face in the guest case file, okay? Please don't make me do things based on how, like, what does this person look? But wait, what's the word for a person from Borneo? Oh, let's look it up instead of guessing. Bornean? Bornese? I don't know. Hold on. Wikipedia will tell us. I always forget the name of those words as well, so we'll find that out too at the same time. Or will we? Does it not say? Usually it's in the like sidebar. Okay, let's just search name of someone from Borneo. Borneans. That was one of my guesses, wasn't it? Well, okay, interesting. So, depending on... So because there's different cultures and different peoples, they would normally be referred by the culture that they belong to. Okay. Rather than just Borneans, but Borneans is also a word. Okay. Good to know. Then we're going to learn a lot here. Did I get your name? I guess I did. A description, he's young, in his 20s, I'd say. Okay, so we're only getting your side of the conversation. That makes sense, because we're only like focusing on this room and we can't hear the phone call. Makes sense. Within the parameters of the being able to see this event that we weren't even there for. Description, he's young, in his 20s, I'd say, with a haircut that's altogether too styled for my liking. Like one of those Americans on the silver screen. Okay, we're looking for a movie star kind of chap. In his 20s. And this is Canan? Or no, is this the other person? Yeah, it's the other person. Okay. He may well be the victim he claims, but for all I know, he's a common scoundrel or a scout for the... Okay, no, this is where the slurs would have been. I shall ring again by the first light. I expect you to have the particulars by then. Much obliged. Okay, Jeremiah Goodwill puts down the phone. Someone knocks on the door. Tew and Bone is waiting for you in the library. Someone is in the edges of the space during the event. I do not need to know who they are. They will just remain as ghostly forms in the shadows. You do not need to know who they are. They will just remain as in I will never identify this person? Or will I still identify this person? Oh gosh, you can add notes to individual messages? You can. I like that. I've been thinking that about The Rue Trees Are Dead. I've been watching a playthrough of it. Specifically, I've been watching Keith Ballard's playthrough of it. And I think it would really benefit from being able to like assign notes to individual people. Like being able to click on them and then assign notes there instead of having like a separate notebook. But anyway, or like the relationships between people. I don't quite get what you mean by that, but maybe it'll become clear over time. Okay. So we do have the library now, but like, I guess that's the same hour. Like that's not a very long conversation that we've just had, right? Are we only going to Are we only going to get one conversation per place? No, probably there'll be multiple, right? Oh, that's saying there's 2 people there, I think. Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's the red, and the names are red, so I think that makes some sense. What's that triangle meaning? Oh, it's just the scroll. Okay. A timeline, okay, of this particular place. Okay, a theory, which is just notes, I guess. Is that what it said here? No, this is notes, but okay. Interesting. We do have these up here. What do you do? Oh, it's that again. Close trace. I don't know what that means. On the map, Tuesday, 4 o'clock. Right, so I think we can change the time. And the map will probably change in some way. Oh, and the boathouse is here as well, because we learned about it. So you're saying, so somebody here is the movie star character. Who looks most movie star-ish? I think you do. So it's almost certainly you. What was the name? Lucas Sterling. And then Canan. So in his 20s, haircuts altogether 2 styled. I think you're the only person with only man with like a very styled haircut. I mean, we can't see your haircut, but like, let's the swoosh to the side. No. Sterling? Oh, was that saying that was correct? I think that was saying it was correct. It popped up very, very briefly. Okay, hold on. Drew and Bone is waiting for you in the library. So that's going to be the same time, right? Oh, global timeline. This is the thing that would have been taken away. No, I'll keep that. That seems fine to me. Library. Stacks of yellowing Straits Times newspapers sit piled behind the library shelves full of heavy-bound books. It's worth noting, for folks watching playthroughs of detective games, especially ones where you're reading a lot, there's absolutely an extra element of like the game being harder because you're recording it. Like, it's, for some reason, when you play a game without recording it and you're reading, text just goes in better. But when you're reading it and recording it, like, you often have to reread things multiple times and things just don't quite go in. So if you're ever like, why are you ignoring that piece of text that you just read? It's not that I'm ignoring it. It's just that like sometimes it doesn't all go in. And so I'll just have to reread stuff. That's natural. Okay, so we're in the library. But wait, am I in the library? Yes, but it doesn't say that anywhere. Weirdly. Does it say somewhere? I don't think it says it. Oh, it says up here. Okay. I almost don't see that because it just looks like the edge of my monitor because it's black. But am I not expecting the guy to be there? The other guy? Because, wait, Jeremiah Goodwill, because like, is waiting for you in the library. When did this person arrive? Did it say? No. But I mean, there's only one other time slot, so maybe I could guess that Lucas Sterling would be in the boathouse at 3 o'clock. What did it say? I feel like it did say somewhere, did it not? Not seeing a time right now. No. So Dew and Bone is waiting for you in the library, but I don't have their picture. Okay, part of this is figuring out this UI. So there's a library here, but I have no reason to believe that either of you two are here, so I don't want to just do it. I guess you could just try and focus on them, but it feels like a bit of a stretch. And then there's the boathouse. A sagging structure of salt bleached wood. Inside, tattered fishing nets hang from the rafters. I don't have everything I need to uncover echoes here yet. I need to go through the guest list and figure out who some of them are. Okay. So you're basically telling me I can't do anything here currently. We did also get more glossary, right? This thing. I like the photos that are being included. This is neat. If you were standing on a pier in Sandakan in 1941, here's what those boats would have looked like and what they were called. Sorry if I'm pronouncing names of places incorrectly. Typical vessel, the Thornycroft launch. The British North Borneo Chartered Company almost exclusively bought their launches from John I. Thornycroft and Co. Most were between 35 and 50 feet long. Unlike steel ships, they were often built with Borneo wood hulls. This was crucial because tropical shipworms would eat through standard wood in months, but Borneo was very sturdy and hard as a rock. They had a high plumb bow, a wooden deck house for the officers, and a large open area covered by a canvas awning to protect the crew from the blistering Borneo sun. They weren't as fast, usually topping out to 8 to 12 knots. They were designed for endurance and navigating shallow river mouths. Okay, it's the one on here. Is this a real photo? The lighting looks a little odd, but I think it's real. I don't think... I don't know, those look more... Maybe that kind of thing? That looks more metallic, I think. Maybe that over there, but I can't quite tell. The government gave their launchers names that sounded both official and a bit adventurous. Notable vessels from the period include the Petrel? The governor's yacht. It was a flagship of the small fleet and was used for high-level patrols and transporting the governor from and to Sandakan. The Clias. Let's look up it's going to come up a lot. Sandakan pronunciation. Oh, can you give me a... Here we go. Sandukan, maybe? Oh, this is not helping me. I think it might be Sandukan. That's... There's a website called like Forvo, which has good like pronunciation recordings on it. Let's go there. Hopefully it's got it. It might not have it. Seems like this is also a person's name. The videos on YouTube are always terrible. Sandokan. With emphasis on the last syllable, Khan. Sandokan? Whatever. The Clias, a sturdy coastal launch named after the Clias Peninsula. The Membakut, another common patrol launch used for anti-piracy work. The Kedah, a coastal steamer large launch that handled longer runs across the South China Sea. A marine wing launch was essentially a floating police station. To deal with the pirates, they were usually armed with mounted machine guns. A patrol launch typically carried a mixed crew that reflected the colonial hierarchy. The commander, usually a British officer from the constabulary or hired by the company. The engineer, often a Singaporean or local specialist who could keep the engines running in the humidity. The constables, 4 to 8 Sikh or Dayak. Police, the British favoured Sikhs for their imposing height and discipline, while Dayaks had great knowledge of the coast and rivers. If a Tuan saw a white painted launch, I think that's meant to have space, right? White painted launch flying the chartered company flag, he would know it was the authorities. However, because these launches were slow, they often arrived after a pirate raid was over. Their main job wasn't to intercept, but to sail into remote villages to remind the locals the government still had guns and was watching the opium trade. Okay. By 1941, a young man wanted to join the Royal Navy, would be there in one of two very distinct roles, depending entirely on his social class. Here's a breakdown of those two positions. Holy moly, there's going to be a lot of reading here. I don't know how necessary this is for the puzzle solving aspect. Boy seaman. If the young man was from a working class background, his official rank would be boy second class in training or boy first class at sea. The Royal Navy recruited boy seamen as young as 15. They were the apprentices and their lives were incredibly disciplined and physically demanding. Their duties included being a messenger for officers, running between the bridge, the engine room, and the radio room, spending hours every day polishing the brass and scrubbing the decks. If he was quick-witted, he might be trained as a signal boy, responsible for hoisting signal flags or operating the Morse code lights. standing watch in the crow's nest or on the bridge wings, scanning the horizon for pirates or other ships. It was a very harsh job. 15-year-olds were still subject to corporal punishment. A boy seaman could be caned for minor offences. They did not sleep with the adult sailors. They had their own separate mess deck and swung their hammocks in a designated area. They were strictly forbidden from mixing too much with the older men, partly to keep them focused on their training. A midshipman. This is feeling very Oprah. If the 15-year-old was from a good family and had attended a naval college like Dartmouth, he would be a midshipman. While still a teenager, he was technically a sub-officer and outranked all the adult enlisted sailors. In naval slang, midshipmen were called snotties because they were known to wipe their nose on their sleeves. Curious? All of them? Their duties included commanding boats, taking watch on the bridge, and supervising the adult sailors. Midshipmen lived in the gunroom, where they ate, slept, and studied under the supervision of a sub-lieutenant. It was sub-lieutenant. It was a world of high-pressure learning and intense hazing from the older midshipmen. Okay. Sounds like a great time. Okay, so you're suggesting I can do something here, and like I know that somehow like one of you is there. Now explain that to me. Let me go back to this. So you've been speaking to it was the district officer. Morders are after the boathouse. Have there been any reports regarding Royal Navy blah blah blah? And then you show up. Chewing bone. But do we have a chewing bone? I don't think we do, right? So what am I supposed to do? Chewing bone. So chewing means something because it was in that thing as like a title or something. I don't think it's a name. But still, neither of you's named Bone. I don't get what you want me to do. Like, I could just try both of these here, but that feels just random right now. Like, is there any indication that either of these two people is in the library? I don't think so. I'm expecting Jeremiah Goodwill to be there, because Jim Bone says you should go to the library, basically. But then your picture's not available. Am I missing something obvious? Chewing bone. And this one basically said you can't go there, I guess. I mean, I don't think anything in there was random. I did miss that first message somewhere. What was it? Should be able to identify well, I don't have a description. If I can figure out who they are based on the context, you can assign. I mean, is there... I mean, that's a good point. Is there somebody who what was your thing again? You were head of security. I don't know anything more than that, right? I know you're indigenous to Borneo. Well, it's implied by that message. It's a bit of a fourth wall break message, but I mean, I don't know. I guess the other thing with these guys is like trying to understand like how much guessing does it want you to do. I feel like I'm more likely to be able to guess that the other guy was in the boathouse, but I guess I don't know who that is. But I do know who that is. It's Lucas Sterling. Why can't I do that? Wait, hold on. Are you suggesting... Oh. Are you suggesting that conversation took an hour? And then I do you here? Resonance's sorry, reconstruction is incorrect. But what? Can somebody only be in one place in an entire hour? You did go there. I mean, I guess you don't know that you did immediately go there. Maybe you did some other stuff. This is clearly just me trying to figure out, like, how does this game work? So sure, like you're suggesting something can happen in the library. But I can't say that you were there. Summon the echo. I mean, do I just... If the game does just want me to click on them randomly and click focus, then I'm not too keen on that. I have no reason to believe that you would be there, no reason to believe that you would be there. As far as I'm aware. I feel like I have more reason to believe that you would be here. Apparently not. Eh? I guess I don't get the game currently. He's young in his 20s, so what the heck? Yeah, I've got him. Does this mean something that I'm supposed to know? Wait, oh yeah, unknown, okay. What does that say? Who might be here? Probable meeting point for P1 and P2. Someone on the edges of the space during the event, I do not need to know who they are. They will just raise ghostly forms in the shadow. So does that mean I never identify you? I'm a bit confused. Okay. What? Are there any other locations? I don't think so. Does this change depending on like... Ah! What the heck does this mean? Oh, so I can click on the time and know. Why does it do this whole like bubble effect thing? So I can click on the time and it tells me where people were at that time. I don't know where they were effectively. Okay. Well, good to know. But what's my next thing I'm supposed to be doing? I don't want to just do it randomly. There's got to be a clue, right? So what does Chuan mean? Chuan. It was mentioned in here. Somewhere. It was in the, like, if they see a ship. If a Chuan saw... Okay, let's find out what Chuan is. Chuan. Borneo. I don't know if it's a Borneo specific thing, but... Got a page from Monkey World Wiki. And then there's chewing orangutans. Okay. What have I mean, maybe I just guess. I mean, neither of those is true either. Okay. Wait, what? I'm so confused. And you're not in the library this time. Who, what, when, why? You told me don't do anything at the boathouse. In fact, that didn't work, although that might also have been at 4 o'clock. What am I not understanding about this game? We haven't mentioned another time? We don't know how long it takes to get to the library. I mean, it looks like it's not far away. According to the map, it's like in the same house. Am I supposed to be putting another name on another person? I don't think so. In fact, I don't. Do I not have any other names? Am I supposed to be identifying you? But I don't have much information about you. Now you're a man. What does that narrow it down to? What's this? No. Guess. Okay. You look like a kid. You're likely Sikh, I guess. You could be security, you could be security. I have no idea. But the security could be Seek. So, got no idea. Does the head of security wear a hat like that? That hasn't been implied yet. I've clearly not understood something. Can you like also do a second person here, or is it just the one person? There's like one person in each place at any time? How can that be the case? I'm so confused. I don't get the game. I'm lost immediately. You're implying that the library is somewhere where I should care about. I wonder if that one message I missed was like super important. I mean, okay, hold on. Did I find that on... Where was that in the transcripts? Here we go. What, do I have another item? No. Wait. Did this not happen already? I feel it being used quite clearly at 2 AM by a man with a Borneo accent. That Delphina's aura attached to the telephone. She can feel whoever is using it at any time. She's only able to hear and feel the person using or holding the item and not anyone else in the room. I don't... What? Is this a necessary step? I'm sure this game is good once I get past the initial confusion of how to even play it. So you're saying I can figure out... Can I figure out who was using it at any time? Well, I mean, surely then it would just say, but then maybe I have to identify the people first? What was that missing message? Oh. I can feel it being used quite clear at 2 AM by a man with a Borneo accent. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. Okay. So back in the study, 2 AM. There. I guess I'm also being thrown off there by the fact that that is like a magical element of the game. I was expecting to use the stuff from here to figure out like where I go next. But instead I just know that somebody was using the phone at 2 o'clock. Infused objects. What does... What? Shall I have to pick the thing? I can pick the item? Delphine, this is Jiro in the room alongside Kanan. I should come back here once I figured out who he is to see his side of this conversation. There is a Jiro in the room alongside Kanan. Okay, you mean who the Jiro is? Do you? See his side of the conversation. Surely if we're in the room, we can see... Okay, I'm very lost. But anyway, at least we have new stuff. Partial echo from rotary telephone. A big man enters. You see, I didn't know who to turn to. I don't know who to trust. Stop worrying, Jiro. I'll take care of it. Now that I'm confused, now that I've been confused, and now I'm not taking anything in because my head's going like, wait, but what? What's going on? Partial echo from rotary telephone. A big man enters. You see, I didn't know who to turn to. I don't know who to trust. Stop worrying, Jiro. I'll take care of it. Trust. Stop worrying, Jiro. I'll take care of it. But so Jiro's on the other side. No, they're in the room together. Big man picks up the rotary telephone. Speaks in a language I don't understand. Why is in with a capital I? I don't think that matters, does it? But that's in italics, so that genuinely is, I guess, me saying that I don't understand this. Continue speaking. Big man puts the phone down. I presume it's the same big man. They're on their way. You should go. Little Mem is stronger than you think, and she has us. Mem is a specific title for the lady of the house. I gather that Little Mem is an affectionate term used by the servants to refer to Loon. Okay. Feels like that should be something that I could deduce from the text. What are you talking about? You can't do that. Forget her. It's 2 in the morning. Just go to bed and don't let anyone see you. I'll wait for the reinforcements here. You go. Okay, we're going to leave this here. Next time, we'll try and get a bit more of a grasp of like what's currently been happening, because that whole confusion about what to do next kind of threw me off, and so I need to reevaluate where we are. But I'll see you next time, and I think we have a little bit of a better idea of what I'm supposed to do, like flipping between the locations and the items that I mean, how do I even get to the map? inventory, items, then it's here, and then I had to do that. So to explain my confusion, I thought like I did see the thing here earlier saying to identify the owner, but I thought that this like the thing that I did here was the same process, like how do I know it is your phone? Actually, at any point do you say, "Oh, this phone of mine"? Yeah, feels like a bit of a stretch. I mean, I'm assuming since it's this, which room is it? The study. I guess it's your study, and therefore you own the thing. But yeah, I didn't realize because like the whole bit where I had seen the item, I wonder. Okay, let me go back to that one message that I missed. I still haven't figured out which message that was that I missed. Was it here? No. When did I read that? I don't remember reading that. Is that one I missed? Or is there a different one I missed? Because there was a point where I clicked past something and I don't know what that was. I think it might have been this. I can feel the essence of the study as I focus on it. It's nearly as if I'm in the room. The feeling is impossible to describe. Many think it's not real. Just a parlor trick. I don't blame them. Okay, anyway. We're past that now. See you next time and we'll actually get started with this. Alright, goodbye.